let's start with the very, very bottom. For those of you that did not see, last week, almost immediately after our show, we got a tweet from Tom Cannon saying, hey, we're going to have exciting Project L news. Stay tuned. And then on Thursday of that week, I think it was Thursday, we got some of those news. And one of those news, unfortunately, is very, very sad. It feels like losing a best friend. For those of you that don't know, the news included the actual title of the game. And unfortunately, we can no longer call it Project L. And I'll be honest, Project L was a pretty cool name. I'm not going to lie, especially in the FGC. Whenever you get to say L for anything, it's funny. So, ladies and gents, I have here Danny DeVito with me, and we're going to pay respects to the fallen name for Project L. Goodbye, Project L. We as a community are no longer holding the L. And it is sad. Because every day when I tune into FGC Twitter, it feels like the FGC in general on Twitter is just holding a bunch of L's. 2XKO. 2XKO is the new name for the... Actually, can we just call it 2X? You know, like how there was like the artist formerly known as Prince? Can we just call it like the project formerly known as L? They also announced that they are going to be in a different stage of development. Last year, they were in like heads down, creating the game mode and figuring it out, right? Because if you guys recall, there's been a couple iterations of things with Project L. I feel like FGC Twitter is already bitching about it. I feel like the FGC on Twitter just fucking bitches for no reason. No reason at all. A leaf can fall on like a football field and the FGC Twitter will be up in arms against a leaf and against a tree and against a football field. Everybody just likes complaining. 2XKO is not a bad name. It's pretty cool. It's difficult to say, sure, but it's cool and it looks cool on paper. I really do want to call it the project formerly known as L. They announced that they will be a lot more forward-facing this time around. They're going to be traveling to a bunch of tournaments, not only major tournaments, but also local tournaments and maybe some local events, local locations, I guess, which is pretty exciting. I'm excited for that. You can sign up for the playtest. There's going to be a playtest. There's a beta coming. You guys remember how excited we were with Street Fighter 6 betas, with Mortal Kombat betas, with Tekken betas? Now we're getting, finally, a Project L beta. I'm sorry, a 2XKO beta. The project formerly known as L beta. So that's extremely exciting. I can't wait. For those of you that weren't here last year, I had the opportunity to, at Evo, play Project L. And it was awesome. We played 2v1 where the dev, he was like the audio guy, played by himself. And then Dragos and I play against him. And man, that game is going to be wacky, and I mean that in the absolute best possible way. I cannot wait to see like how crazy shit is gonna get. One of my favorite things I think about how Project L is working as it is right now from that play session is if you're playing with a partner, the partner controls the character at all times, right? So if your character is on the screen and you're playing, you don't get to call the assist. You have to depend on your partner to call the assist or to call in the burst, right? That, to me, is so unbelievably exciting. I cannot wait to see how that shapes up. That's going to be so cool. That's going to be so cool. And I'm so happy we're going to get to see a lot more of it this year. So, thank you, Tom Cannon. Sounds stupid to you? Well, stop it. Open your mind with your heart unclouded by hate. I feel like you're hating for the sake of hating. Stop it. It's really cool. I had a blast with it, and I can't wait to see what people do with it. Now, that was not the only fighting game news we got this week, because along with the Project L update, we also got this little doobly-doo.
Fatality. Peacemaker wins.
And there you have it. That's Peacemaker. Look, I feel like you guys in the chat are shitting on this for like no reason, right? Just like the rest of FGC Twitter is kind of shitting on this for no reason. People are complaining about the animations. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it looks pretty badass. It looks like an NRS game, man. If you don't like it, that's fine. But I feel like saying the animations are bad is not a constructive enough criticism for it to be a valid criticism. But with that said, dude, I think they just nailed this character, man. I loved watching Peacemaker. My partner and I watched Peacemaker almost in one sitting. Like, we literally would watch like 2 to 3 episodes a night, if not more. It's really cool that they got so many callbacks to the show. The fatalities from, like, I think the first episode, like, most of his moves are super duper cool. I can't wait to see this character come out. And I think he comes out 28th. Sorry, the 28th. So it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. And Janet Cage is the cameo character that's coming in along with Peacemaker. However, she's going to be available in March, so she won't be releasing alongside Peacemaker just yet. Alongside Peacemaker, however, tomorrow, there are going to be a lot of updates to the game, including crossplay. Mortal Kombat 1 finally caught up. They're going to have some crossplay. You know what I find interesting? Every time I see like negativity on Twitter, it just feels like a bunch of people whining for no reason, right? Like, they finally added crossplay to the game. That's hopefully going to revitalize a lot of things. But then instead of saying, hey, cool, we got crossplay, thanks, looking forward to the next one, people are bitching about not having King of the Hill. Come on, man, this shit's expensive. I'm not somebody who like shills for corporations, right? Because that shit's like, that's stupid, right? Warner Brothers has a shit ton of money, so they can afford to put the stuff in there. Honestly, I think NRS just doesn't have the manpower to put everything on there with everything else going on. So I feel like people are getting this thing that they wanted instead of celebrating the thing that they wanted. They're just like, they just want the next thing, right? It genuinely just feels like a bunch of people whining for no reason. Now, is King of the Hill a big deal? I'm not too in tune with the Mortal Kombat scene, the NRS scene, right? However, a lot of people are saying like that's something that they've used for competitive play. That's something that a lot of people use for online play. So it makes sense for people to want it, right? But I think there just has to be a line between wanting something and whining about it. King of the Hill, Squidly, is a mode that's been in almost every other NRS game, if I'm not mistaken, where you have a lobby, and it's essentially like an arcade where you have a bunch of people waiting to play, and whoever wins stays on. And you can have like win streaks. So King of the Hill, the person who wins keeps staying on. If they keep beating people, they get stuff. Blah 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 blah. You know, you get the deal. You get the gist. You picking up what I'm putting down.